I see that's an Ibanez. Have you always been an Ibanez player?
No, my girl got this for me because she said because I said, oh, I like this guitar, and then she hence her logo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like it. It's different. It makes me play different. You tend to, yeah, all these goofy ass riffs,
Exactly. I had the pleasure of interviewing you a couple of years ago, and you talked about how you're really a guitar player and you like to be thought of as a guitar player. So
yeah.
You mentioned back then that you're writing all the time, and I see the James Bond poster behind you.
Yeah.
You said that pretty much the only two things you never did in your career were have a James Bond theme and sing with Robert Plant. Is there anything else still on that list?
No, there was jamming with Rob Halford. I did that. That was amazing. And Plant, yeah, that's still one thing I haven't done. And he knows who I am. That's brilliant. I ran into him once in Europe in the 80s. And I'm like, hey, your nickname's Percy. I'm Pearcy. He goes, I know who you are. And I went, thank you. That's all I need. Confirmation.
Both of you.
It was cool.
Both of you kept the lights on at Atlantic Records for a lot of years. So you
yes,
have that in common.
And when we got signed, Robin and I said to each other, well, if Atlantic's good enough for the Rolling Stones and Zeppelin, it's good enough for Ratt. And we went with it. But you're right. I actually submitted a song to a Bond movie years ago. And they already had somebody, but Barbara, the main girl there, Broccoli, sent me a letter and a note. She says, no, right now, this is great. And I actually sent her Top Secret with a little extra, the Bond thing in there. And she liked it. And she sent me a script to a new Bond movie that was never made. And actually, I have it here, and a note, and I, submitted another song for the last movie, but what's her goof got it because they're commercially it right now, so it's okay. I don't give up easy.
There's still hope, and I'm really intrigued by the live stream that you have coming up soon, because you posted the set list, and it intrigues me where you put the drop D section and then the E section, which further shows that you're a guitarist. Order the songs.
Yeah, I've always done that, even though I don't play guitar during that. I have played live, but nobody gets it, so I really don't try to emphasize that fact. I mean, I write Ratt songs since day one, and actually, I did an interview earlier, and they're asking me where these songs came from, and I go, you mean the EP? And they're like, yeah. And I go, well, those are old Mickey Ratt songs from like 77, 78. You got it, Sweet Cheater, Tell the World, even back, I had to go through a bunch of changes, but yeah, I'm a guitar guy. I don't claim to be, an Ed Van Halen, but I can play and I write, and there's a guitar in every room in this house, so it makes me just want to pick up and play more.
True, but you are the inventor of Mike Knuckles, so you are.
Yeah. Wait, there should always be a pair around here somewhere. Even for protection. They're around here.
Does anyone endorse Mike Knuckles?
Do what?
Does anyone endorse Mike Knuckles?
No, but I've given them to everybody you can think of. And it's ironic. Only the chick rock and rollers are the ones who use them. I mean, I've given them to Halford, to Dee Snider, to you name it, Lita Ford. But it tends to, the people who use them, it's funny, You think the heavy metal dudes would be pulling them out, but it's not.
It happens. Another distinction about you and your career, you're on the short list of artists who did an MTV Unplugged. And in my opinion, Ratt MTV Unplugged is one of the greater episodes. I say it's pretty much Alice in Chains, Kiss, Ratt. Those are my top 3 MTV Unplugs. Yet I think we've only seen Way Cool Jr. be released as a bonus track. Any idea if we may ever see it released officially?
I think they have released them. I don't know. I mean, right now I'm sitting on such an archive of Ratt unreleased stuff and remixes and I would really love to get some of this out, and it's probably going to happen this year. But yeah, there's, I believe they released that as a record, the Unplugged. So I don't know, but you're right. I mean, that was a good gig. Everybody was spot on. We had Fred Curry on, percussion from Cinderella, later on Arcade. We had Michael Schenker sitting in. Robin was taking a siesta. And it was brilliant. I mean, the jams, and Michael went out with us on the road. So that's why we pulled him in. But it was a great experience. Yeah.
An interesting thing about that is you do a really long cover of Born on the Bayou. And I don't think I've ever seen Ratt do a cover when I've seen Ratt live. So
no, I will. I play when, the best thing about my solo band is, I mean, I'm a fan of so much music. I'll play a Zeppelin, a Priest, a Bowie. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever gets me off, I'll go out there and try to get off, and hopefully you'll dig it. But I love playing cover songs. It's what I grew up doing, emulating, the guys you want to eventually, go toe to toe with,
And you mentioned before Arcade, which was on Sony, which was more experimental part of your career. And you also mentioned that there's a lot of archives, a lot of things that maybe might come out one day. Are you the kind of artist where if we dug enough, there'd be a punk thing you did, maybe a ska thing you did?
Oh, yes. I tend to, with my solo stuff, especially working with Eric Ferrantino as my guitar guy for almost 20 years, we go anywhere. I mean, the new solo record is so much more aggressive than View to a Thrill. They're all different. I got real close to what I call my punk record with Vicious Delight in 1995. Actually, my first offering on Top Fuel Records. And what I dug about that record VD is just 2-minute songs, just in your face, bam, thank you, ma'am. I must have been in a shitty place because I was really aggro. But I love that record. I mean, Like a Dog and songs like oh man, just crazy 2-minute songs in your face. It's beautiful. Beautiful thing.
And with you and the Ratt legacy, I admire that you never stopped on any level, not just Arcade. You were always making music. There was never really a break of like 3 years we didn't get anything from you. And so in other words, you survived the whole grunge thing. You survived the pop punk thing. You survived the boy bands. You just kept going, like the cliche goes, there'll be nothing but rats and Cher. So
well, I kind of I get you, and I just like writing and doing different things. Hence, I mean, look, I mean, right now I'm sitting. There's some Ratt stuff right here. Matter of fact, if yeah, I mean, I look at this stuff all day long and stuff I want to put out. I think for me, I just like diversity, if you pigeonhole yourself, I don't want to be this 80s guy. I embrace it. You can call me hair metal as long as you're paying a check. Paying by check, or not by check, should I say. Don't pay by check. Call me hair metal all day long. I embrace it. I could give a shit, To me, it's just all music and whatever I can do to progress in what I do, producing, writing, directing, or anything. I like it, versatility, whatever you want to call it,
Well, where I was going with that is purely a compliment in that Dave Navarro is a big fan of you and the band, and I know he's been a friend to you at different times.
Yeah.
He was part of that generation of people that was almost like seen as the antidote to you and to Ratt. So as time is going on, I'm seeing that Ratt is one of those essential hard rock bands that maybe a few people critically could not admit that they like, but now everyone loves you guys. And that book, Nothing But a Good Time, kind of calls that out.
Yeah, well, like then again on that subject, that's been brought up. I'm doing interviews all week. Is that book? It pretty much sets it straight. Everybody gives their one-liners. It's all true, man. That's the weirdest thing about that decade. It was so brilliant. It was refreshing, dangerous, exciting, and I've never lost that. I've never been complacent. Put it that way. I don't sit around going, "Oh yeah, well you did it." I didn't. I haven't done anything near what I want to do, and I could give a shit if I win a Grammy. That goes to the popularity contest. So we're left out of that. But I appreciate that. Maybe the commercial, I don't know. But we will, Ratt cannot be exterminated. That's a fact. And, I'm just the head cheese. I don't know. I'm just do what I do.
Sure. Well, 3 quick questions because you've been generous with your time. And the first question is, there's rumors that go back and forth. Where do you think the likelihood is of seeing a follow-up to the album Infest? And is it with the new lineup or the old lineup?
I said it, and I'll say it over and over, is I will not do a Ratt record unless it is the original guys. There's no reason, because we tried it with Infestation. We got close, but no cigar, And Warren would even tell you the same thing. We tried, but if you don't have all those elements of dysfunction or whatever you want to call it that we are, we're not the most dysfunctional group on the planet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it would take the real guys, and I really wouldn't want to put something else out there. No way. So, I mean, if I'm leaving a door open, that's great. I'm not doing it consciously. Subconsciously, it'd be great if we can get together and go, hey, let's make a record. It can be done very easily because I've done many records since.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and if we don't, it's okay. We have a great legacy, and, it's all good with me. I don't need to put platinum records up. I know what I've done, and actually I give them all away. So you're next.
Question number 2 of 3. Is there a TV show that you can recommend to somebody who needs a new show to start? Because a lot of us have just been watching more TV than ever the last year and change because we're not going to Ratt shows.
Right. Well, God, I mean, we're busy in kind of pre-production for a show called Backstage Past, which we've been instigating for a bit. And that's to honor the legacies of rock guys, musicians who have done very well that get no accolades, and they don't even know what their legacy is, So Backstage Past is a show that we're trying to get out there. We will get out there. And it's time I start asking questions, because I'm an insider. I know what to ask, and you do too, but no disrespect.
Right.
But I can get way in there.
Yeah.
And that's what we intend to do with that. And what's coming up is ASY TV is doing a docu-series on me and the legacy. And that's what is actually snowballing the show Backstage Pass. So there's a couple things happening. First, we're going to give you the concert, then the ASY TV. It's all on the website. And then we'll give you Backstage Pass eventually. And then hopefully get out there and play some shows, because the longer it takes to play shows, the more creative I get here. So it's okay. I'll be working on my 7th solo record by the time we're out of here.
There's no shortage of stuff for you to do. So my closing question And I ask you this as somebody who's been doing it for decades at a high level. That's Stephen, any last words for the kids?
Kids, well, I think most adults are kids. So I would say, if you're a musician, do it your way, play what you want, create, be original, and never give up. There's opportunities nowadays to do many, many things we didn't have the opportunity to do. You can actually become successful cutting corners nowadays. But and as far as the kids, and stay in school if you can get in there, and stay off the drugs, kids. Pick up a guitar. And as far as adult kids, you got to go to stephenpearcy.beeps.com, because April 2, I'm going to give you a concert and rat and roll you.
I will be watching that show. The next time you're playing New York, the wife and I will be there. And thank you for putting the song I'm Insane back into the set list. That was definitely missing.
Oh, I love that song. There's nothing like that song. There is a part in our set to where I notice when everybody gets all geeked out and they want to like bash each other. That's one of the songs. It leads into that, oh, here they go, kids. Let's rock, I love it. Thank you.
Exactly. Keep up the greatness and looking forward to everything you got coming soon, Stephen. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Paltrocast.